Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday the 4th of March 2022. In today's Millwall news, we're going to have a couple of stories, then we're going to go on to the match preview. And these are the stories we have. So, Jed Wallace gave an interview to the South London Press, and this is from the londonnewsonline.co.uk. Jed Wallace hoping to be a superhero again with his Millwall talisman, enjoying being back to his peak powers. Jed Wallace is hoping to be a superhero at Select Car Leasing Stadium tomorrow and ensure he doesn't upset his sons again. The 27-year-old ended a 4-month spell without scoring in Mill's most recent match on the road, a 2-1 win at Derby County last week, and usually asks Luca 4 or Noah 2 for ideas on the celebration. But that all went out of the window at Pride Park. I hadn't scored in 13 games, so I'd forgotten how to celebrate, Wallace told the South London Press. My little lad wasn't happy because normally I ask my 4-year-old what he wants me to do. Some of the shouts I get, I can't do them as much as I love him. Last week he wanted me to be a kingfisher. He loves animals. How the fuck am I going to be a kingfisher? For Blackburn at home I did an eagle. He's not like a normal 4-year-old that asks for a cow or a chicken. He wants me to be a platypus or a poisoned dart frog. I've got my other one who is 2 saying do Spider-Man. I was Superman at Sheffield United away. My older one goes first, now I'm back to my younger one. Wallace's special powers to make the Lions tick has been back in evidence in recent weeks. He produced the assist for Tyler Berry's goal against QPR, and it was his free kick that was emphatically headed home by Jake Cooper in Saturday's 1-0 win over Sheffield United at the Den. Wallace had nearly 2 months on the sidelines with a quad injury before making his return in the stalemate with Preston in SC16 at the start of February. That was the worst I had felt on the football pitch in 10 years, the former Wolves and Portsmouth player. I trained for 45 minutes in 6 weeks, came on and made one run, I couldn't breathe. I felt a lot better against Fulham and Cardiff, and I've been back to full fitness in the last 3 games. I think you've seen that little freshness, where having that breather for 5 or 6 weeks might even have hopefully kicked me on for the rest of the season. Millwall had looked set to have nothing to play for in the closing months until 4 straight victories, their best run since March 2018, when they nearly gate-crushed the playoffs, has put them back into the mix. They are 5 points behind 6th place Luton with 13 matches left to play, with odds of around 7-1 to finish in the playoffs. They do not have room for many errors or even draws to muscle their way even more into the promotion picture. The recent form is made all the more impressive against a backdrop of plenty of first-teamers being in the physio's room. We shouldn't get in the playoffs, said Wallace. You only have to look at Saturday and see us bring on Zach Lovelace when Sheffield United bring on Sander Berg and Morgan Gibbs-White. That's what you're up against, the quality the chasing pack of teams have. But this is Millwall Football Club, and that is the mentality we have. When things don't go well, we pull in tight and the fan base get behind us. When we're in crisis, it seems like we respond like Coventry away. I was convinced we were going to win that game when I saw it was all going to pot with COVID cases everywhere. The game was on, then off, and then on again. You see it again now. We've got an injury crisis, but this club's pulled together when it needs to and bounces back when no one expects it. There were more setbacks in the recent in that respect at the weekend, with in-form attacker Mason Bennett forced off early on against the Blades with an oblique muscle problem. Sean Hutchinson, such a calming and imperious influence at centre-back, also made way in the second period with a calf issue. We've got something like 10 players out. When you include Nana Boateng, he'll be involved with us, said Wallace. But that's Millwall Football Club. You can try and improve everything, but ultimately when you play football at Den as a home player, you've got to roll your sleeves up and get in the opposition's face, be intimidating and horrible to play against. That's in the DNA of Millwall Football Club. It doesn't matter what skills you can do on the ball or anything else. Sometimes here at home you have to strip it all back and be horrible opposition. The fans get on our side with that. You saw that on Saturday. It was a horrible game, but we went toe-to-toe with a squad probably far better than ours, and we won. You walk off that pitch almost 10 feet tall with the fans behind you, and that edge in the game. Historically, since I've been here, we've always been able to get that result when the chips are down. The home support certainly reacted favourably to seeing the Lions players scrap snap and snarl their way to a 13th championship victory of the season. While Saturday was not a sellout, 14,638 in attendance, it felt like one of the better home atmospheres of the 21-22 campaign. The Den has been flat pretty much a lot of the season, admitted Wallace. But that's probably our own fault because our performances have been a bit lacklustre. We haven't been on the front foot as much as we should have at home. Maybe the catalyst was Morrow coming back with Cardiff and giving that little bit of needle. We won that game. Then the QPR one felt like real Millwall home atmosphere. That carried on into the Sheffield United one. The fans were just waiting for the players to turn up and show that intensity, to give them something to get behind. The atmosphere and performances in the last 3 games at the Den has been brilliant. It's something we need to carry on. Wallace agrees that the 2-0 win over QPR in mid-February is the most complete display yet. We threatened it a lot. We've had decent 45-minute spells here and there, he said, but that was one where we really did it for 90 minutes. I'm a big believer that off-the-ball stuff comes first at Millwall. I know the quality we have got in the squad. You could see it in the goals we got that night, but a den behind a Millwall player who's got a little bit of confidence and a spring in his step certainly turns an average player into a very, very good one. At the moment, a lot of the lads are looking very good players. We've got very good depth to the squad, but that's no good if it's all in the medical room. I was part of a team that went 17 unbeaten and won 13 of those. We had a lot of luck that year. We had no injuries. You could name the 11 off the top of your head, even now. Archer, Cooper, Hutch, Meredith, Marsh on the left, me on the right with Willow and Sav in the middle, Morrow and Greggs up front. With consistent results, you sometimes need the ability to pick a consistent 11. We've probably not had that enough this season, but credit to the lads who hadn't been playing so much. Tyler and Benno really stepped up. Keith has been excellent for a couple of games. With Wallace in the final few months of his Mill contract and expected to move on this summer for a fresh challenge, Burry and Bennett could be the heirs to the entertainer's throne. I love Tyler. His target at the moment is that he's got to stay in the team, said Wallace. I've had a lot of chats with him and I still think he's playing at 60 or 70%. He's brilliant on the ball, but he's got to learn. When you look at the likes of Mane and Salah, they score so many goals where they are making that run from outside to in. It's something he needs to add to his game. He can beat anyone with his pace, power and directness. He's got a great attitude. Now it's about learning his craft. He's only played something like 10 games. He's only going to improve. Benno is everything I'm not. He's strong, can hold the ball up and take hits. I'm fit as a fiddle, so I can do all the running for him. He has those moments like his assist for the Derby goal where he runs down the wing. I don't think there are many players in the league who can do that. People talk about his fitness, but do you know how hard it is to run that power for 40 yards? The balance he has to have to keep on his feet and cross the ball. He's been an absolute focal point for us in the last 5 or 6 games. Yeah, that was amazing. That was a really, really good run. So that's the end of that. Yeah, Bennett's run on that for that Derby goal. That really was a good bit of dribbling. It really was good. So there you go, some good stuff there from Jed Wallace. Quite a long, lengthy, and comprehensive interview. So moving on now to this. This is Gary Rowett. What's he saying? This is also from londonnewsonline.co.uk. I saw it as a reaction to not being an attacking change. Millwall boss on fans' response after George Evans subbed on against Sheffield United. Yes, absolutely, Gary. Yes. Gary Rowett is confident that the reaction to George Evans being subbed on in Millwall's 1-0 win over Sheffield United was purely because he did not make a more attacking change. Selections of the Lions fan base voiced their displeasure when the former Manchester City youngster replaced Mason Bennett after 15 minutes. I didn't see the reaction against him. I saw it as a reaction of it being a midfielder instead of an attacking change, said Millwall boss Rowett. Ultimately, it played off because we kept a clean sheet. But at that point, Sheffield United have 3 midfielders and 2 strikers against us. And you have to remember they are a very good side. It seems that formation is okay for them with the recent run they've been on. Losing 1 game in 15, it certainly doesn't seem to have affected their attacking qualities. I have to look at the game and see what is required. To put Zach on at that stage would have been really, really difficult. Having Zach, Tyler and Jed, who had played in 3 or 4 games in quick succession on the back of an injury, Bennett wasn't able to do that after just coming back from a hamstring problem, and Connor Mahoney hasn't had many matches. It was a certain type of game where I felt we needed to get a bit of a grip in midfield. Evo has been the most active within our team. It seemed the most natural decision. Evan signed from Derby County 13 months ago. He's not started since the 1-0 defeat at Blackpool on January 22. He has made 40 league appearances, 9 of those as a substitute. It's hard when you haven't played for a while, but Evo came back in and showed some really good bits, said Rowett. There is more to come from him. I don't think we've seen quite what I see every day in training. Maybe the fact he's had a bit of a sporadic season has made that difficult. He's a player with real quality on the ball. We want him to show that. Yeah, indeed. Of course, Gary. Of course, it was because I don't think people were booing George Evans. So maybe there was 1 and 2 because he seems to be the current boo boy. But I think it was the actual replacing a striker with a midfielder at home. Fans aren't happy about that. But we won the game, so all's well that ends well, isn't it? Now, moving on to tomorrow's game against Reading. It's an away game, and we're going to start off by looking at the historical record for what it's worth. Now, we have played Reading many times. I believe it's because I think we were both in the Southern League, and I think we both entered the Football League in around 1920. I think that's what happened. And we've been in the same division many times, and we've played them a lot, and also we've played them a fair few times in the Cup as well. As you can see on your screen right now, there is an absolute sea of red L's. I've sorted it in terms of Reading versus Millwall, and this does not look good if you're a Millwall fan. Can you imagine? Jesus. So to start off with, up until about 1933, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1. Not so bad. Then, from Boxing Day 1934, we didn't win until till March 1954. So 20 years without a win, and that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. 10 games without a win in the 30s, 40s, and early 50s. We win 1 game in 1954, we win 4-2, and then we go on another horrible run of, this is even longer, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games without a win from 1955 to 1986. Can you imagine if you're a home and away Millwall fan, you go every game, and you went to every single one of those trips to Reading, and now of course that was at their old ground, Helm Park, I think it was called. That would have been absolute misery, wouldn't it? So then we win 2 in a row, which was remarkable for us in 1986 and then 1988. We went on a little unbeaten run there from 1983 to 1995, and then the defeats came back. We have 5 defeats in a row, including a 5-0 in 2005. That's funny. 2005 and it's 5-0 defeat. And we went on another run without a win from 2002 to 2018. That one, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. 9 games without a win. Holy moly. This is this is not good, is it? So the last time out, this one here, February 2021, we won 2-1. Now, what do you think's going to happen now? Is it going to revert back to a trend and we're going to have a big red L for tomorrow's game? maybe. Now it's not impossible that we could win. We have won on 2 trips in a row. 1986, 1988. That was the only one. Oh no, there's one here in 1929, 1930. So only 2 times in our history of all these times we played Reading away, we've been to Reading away, have we won in 2 consecutive trips. Only twice have we won 2 games in a row. Seeing as we won the last one, this one here suggests we might not be winning tomorrow's game. Suggests. But this is ancient history. Who cares about a game in 1921? So what? What does that have to do with today's game? Tomorrow's game? Nothing really, does it? Well, here are the last 6 trips to Reading. There's 5 championship games and 1 Football League Cup game. And you can see here, Reading have won 4 of them. We've won 2. There haven't been a draw. So maybe we drew a draw. Maybe we could get a draw. Now, if you're looking at the scores on the screen, one thing you may notice straight away, if you've got a keen eye, is there was only 1-0 there. So only once did one of these 2 teams keep a clean sheet in these 6 games. So that's 12 opportunities to keep a clean sheet. And so it's only 1 clean sheet out of 12 opportunities. And that was us in 2018. That also suggests we probably might not be getting a clean sheet tomorrow. So if we concede 1, do you think we could score 2? Because we're going to need to win the game if we're not going to be keeping a clean sheet. So bear that in mind as we go forward. So here you go, looking at the table. We are in 11th, they are 21, 21st. They've played 1 more game than us. So they score a lot of goals. They've scored more than us, 42. We've scored 36, but they've conceded 67. They have conceded 67 goals. That is insane. So yeah, so what about the form table? Well, we know Millwall are one of the form teams at the minute. There you go. So in the last 6 games, we've won 4, drawn 1, lost 1, 7 goals for, 5 against. Now Reading, 1, 2, drawn 1, lost 3, but scored 9, conceded 12. Okay. And streaks. So we're on 4-game winning streak. We're on a 4-game without defeat streak. Draw, no loss. Reading are on a 1. So we are on a streak that it's got to end sometime. Could it be ending tomorrow? So here's the last 6 games from each team. I'm going to set them up for home and away. So Reading's last 6 home games, Millwall's last 6 away games. Now our 4-game unbeaten run, remember, only has 1 away game, 3 home games. And that was against the basket case, that is Derby. We have strong links with Derby. Mason Bennett played a blinder against them, and he had reason to. We also have Scott Malone and George Evans and Mr. Man himself, Gary Rowett, have links with Derby, so very well motivated to win that game. And win it we did. Now, the rest of our away form is not that good. We failed to score against Fulham, failed to score against Blackpool. We've only kept 1 clean sheet, that was against Coventry. So, again, can we keep a clean sheet tomorrow? Probably not. Then we're going to have to score 2 to win. We're going to have to score 2 to win. At least 2. So let's have a look at Reading. So Reading's last 6 home games. So last time out they won 2-1. if you notice something, they shipped 7 goals against Fulham at home. They've lost a lot of games there. They won their last one, but before that they lost 4 in a row, 4 home games in a row. That's not good, is it? I mean, if Millwall lost 4 home games in a row, the manager will probably get a sack, or he'll be chased out of the car park. And I think that did happen. It's because they brought Paul Ince in. So, but you can also see Reading. Now they failed to score against Fulham and Luton, as I've said, but they scored 2 against Derby. They scored 3 against Huddersfield. They scored 2 against Coventry. They scored 2 against Birmingham, and they didn't keep a clean sheet. So it's very likely they will score against us, but it's very likely as well that they will concede against us. So are we looking at a draw? It's who's gonna. I think Paul Ince said the other day, like, he doesn't want it to be a basketball game where one team goes up and attacks, the other team goes up and attacks, and if it is like that, then it's who has the more clinical finishing, and I don't think it really is us at the moment. We're doing better. We are doing better, but we don't have a lot of chances. And if Fulham just pound us and grind out the chances, they're probably gonna score a couple of them, aren't they? Just in terms of, it's a numbers game, isn't it? If you have 20 shots at goal, 10 of them are on target, you're very likely to score at least 2 or 3 of them. So, whereas we probably have about 6 or 7, have 2 shots on target, and if we're lucky, we'll score 2. If we're not, we'll probably score 1 on 0 or none at all. So let's scroll down. Here's the strengths and there's the weaknesses. A lot of weaknesses for Reading. They are at the bottom of the table for a reason. I mean, but you go up here and look at them. They can score goals. They're at the bottom of the table. They're scrapping for their lives. They're scoring goals. They're trying. So maybe they just got a dodgy goalkeeper. The defense isn't set up properly. But go up front, they know how to score. So match forecast. Reading will score from a direct free kick. Oh, okay. So they have someone who can score from free kicks. Okay. Millwall will dominate in the air. Millwall will control the game in the opposition's half. There will be a low number of cards shown. Okay. And these are all very likely. So let's move on now to this. Basically, massive injuries for both teams. Probably our better players are out. Here we go. This is probably why they conceded so many goals. Goalkeeper Carl Hine has torn a ligament in his hand, so Luke Southwood will be Reading's first choice for the next 8 weeks. There you go. That's probably why they're conceding so many goals, and that's given me a little bit of hope now reading that, actually. So they got the backup goalkeeper in goal, so let's go for it. So let's see what they say. Informed striker Lucas João put Reading in front early on against Blackpool last weekend, but the Royals couldn't hold on and were eventually beaten 4-1 in a comprehensive away defeat. The home side are 6 points clear of the drop zone after claiming 7 points from their last 4 league games. A set-piece goal from Taron centre-back Jake Cooper helped Millwall claim an impressive 1-0 home win against fellow playoff hopefuls Sheffield United at last weekend. The Lions are roaring back into the top 6 battle following a 4-match winning streak. And they predict Reading 1, Millwall 2. Okay, there's one prediction. Let's move on and see if we can get another prediction from David Pratt. And this is from skysports.com. Let's scroll down and see where we are. How far down are we to this week? Not too far. So, it was a poor result for Reading in the end at Blackpool, as a few late goals made it look a worse performance than it actually was. They need to bounce back with sides still lurking beneath them. Millwall are on a great run of form, 4 wins on the bounce and the playoffs back on the horizon if they can keep it going. I believe they will. Away win. And Prime predicts Reading 1, Millwall 2. Now, I'm going to show you the table. This is from bbc.co.uk. There were 2 games today, I believe. Sheffield United, I think, drew with Nottingham Forest, and Huddersfield beat someone to go up. Don't know who they beat though. I could find out, but I can't be bothered. So, in terms of my prediction for tomorrow's game, here's what I'm thinking. Now, as you can see, we've won 4 games in a row, and we've huffed and we've puffed, and we've crawled up to 11. 4 wins in a row doesn't get you very far in this league, which is insane. How are we not higher? How are we not? Now, everyone's saying, well, we're 5 points off the playoffs. But look at all the teams above us. The team directly above us, Coventry City, are 3 points above us with better goal difference. So if we win tomorrow and they lose, we ain't going nowhere. We're staying 11th. We need to win two more in a row and hope that 3 of the teams, Forest, Middlesbrough, Coventry, drop a couple of points so we can go up another 3 places or so. And so we've already won 4 in a row, so you're looking at having to win 6 in a row just to get up to about 8th or 9th. It's incredible, this league, and we've done this before. We've been round about, I think we were 10th before, earlier this season. And then we had our first injury problems, I think, when Ballard went out, Leonard went out, etc. And then we started to drop down the table again. And we were dropped all the way down to 18th. And then we've ground out a few results, and then we got these 4 wins in a row. When the Rowett was forced to play Tyler Burry because he's got the signings that he brought in got injured. Would we be winning 4 games in a row with the signings that he brought in? Who knows? I don't think so. I think the team picks itself, and luckily that includes Tyler Burry, because the fans were saying play him, and Gary Rowett didn't want to play him. But yeah, but we've done this before. We've got up to this position, and we just can't keep it going long enough. I think we've got so many injuries. I think it's very likely we won't be having a full bench tomorrow. Not only have we got many first team players out injured, we've even got under 23s out injured. We would be on the bloody bench. So we might have like 4 or 5 substitutes tomorrow. I mean, it's absolutely insane. It is insane. I think, look, let's have a look where Reading are. You can see where they are. They need to win. They are 6 points ahead of the team in just below them in 3rd, but they need to win. They beat Birmingham the other day, which is good for them, but they need to win, and I think they probably could. I think we're going to see like a Bristol City result, which was, is it here? So Bristol City, remember that game? Bart gifted, uncharacteristically gifted them an early goal with a goal kick, and then we came back. Bradshaw came back, scored, and then some other stuff happened and we ended up losing 3-2, and I can see something similar to that. When you look at what Reading can do, how they can score and concede, I think we're looking at a similar result to the Bristol City game. Remember, this 4-game winning run, there's been 3 home games, so it's only had 1 away game. So I think it's going to be Reading 3, Millwall 2. So let's see what it is, but I'm not hopeful for the best. I think the squad's being pulled threadbare, and they can't keep doing it. They can't keep grinding out the results, and then we've got to go to Blackburn again bloody Tuesday, and then Middlesbrough again on Saturday, and then the rest of this month we got the next 2 weeks we got 4 or 5 games. We got 2 midweek games and 3 weekend games, including tomorrow's one. So it's gonna be bloody busy, and yeah. I'm not hopeful for tomorrow. Yeah, like I said, I think it's gonna be Reading 3, Millwall 2. Prove me wrong, please do. That is it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and good